That's what we specialize in, the audio version of a search fail. We are just gonna miss something so
I hope
obvious because we
so.
didn't look around.
Yeah.
Welcome to Escape This Podcast, a show that's a mix between tabletop role-playing and escape room puzzles. This is the 6th room of the 16th season.
We're getting auspicious.
We're old and decrepit and falling apart here at Escape This Podcast Studios. It's 16 seasons. Every episode we have guests come on and play through an audio escape room. This is a Danny original audio escape room. This season's been a bit back and forth, guests and originals, but
I'm not going to lie, it really helps me out when we do them like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit less work for you. And this episode, we have 2 new guests on the show. Firstly, welcome to the show, co-founder and CEO of Exploding Kittens, Elan Lee. Welcome.
Hello, thank you. I'm very excited to be here. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit contained, but I'm very excited to be here.
Don't be contained. Open the box. Let it out.
We've been trying to plan this and trying to make this happen for a while now.
I know, it's true. Hooray, here we are. We're going to make fools of ourselves audio-ly. Is that a word? In front of a whole lot of people. I'm very excited about it.
That's the plan.
We're very excited to have you. And playing alongside Elan, another new guest, and one that we are worried about because you had the record for the most escape rooms attempted in a 24-hour period. You've done over 1,700 escape rooms. That's too many. Welcome to the show, Amanda Harris.
Oh, it's entirely too many. Yes. There's 2 reactions to that factoid, and it is awe and concern. So yeah, I feel it. I am also super, super excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
It's amazing. I'm very jealous of the number, but then my mind, of course, it starts to spiral in the 2 directions of, oh God, that's so much money. And, oh God, what percentage of those could have actually been good?
And both valid. Absolutely. Never do the math, but also the vast majority of them have been mediocre at best. So
I'm just worried that with that much experience, we're going to get into this room. You're going to be like, oh yeah, this one, I've done this about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
I've done this exact setup 4 or 5 times.
I know that there are limits to originality, but how much wounding of my creative pride can you manage?
I am very excited to be doing this room with Amanda because we normally do escape rooms with a larger group. And often we have very loud, very self-confident people. And the experience over and over and over again is we're staring at a puzzle and everyone's being loud and everyone's being self-confident and they're scratching their head saying, how do we do this? How do we do this? And Amanda is usually the quiet person sitting in the corner saying, the answer is 12. The answer is 12. The answer is 12. It's 12. And nobody's paying attention to her because they're all busy being loud and self-confident. And so I am very excited to be doing this room with Amanda, and I promise not to be loud and self-confident.
Getting some big Taskmaster hop vibes from that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means anything to you.
I love that. Elan is usually the best microphone and ally and amplifier that I've got. So without anybody to be loud, I don't know how it's going to go.
As long as the timer works out, it'd be worse to be like, everybody stop. Amanda probably knows the answer to this one. Everybody turns.
Record scratch.
Maybe it's 12 again.
Yes.
I hope.
I mean, after 1,700 plus rooms, I've been wrong so many unique and exciting ways. Like it never gets old. So I love it.
Well, we're already sort of here. Let's make this official. I'll ask the question. This is an escape room podcast. Amanda, what is your escape room experience? I hear you've done a lot of rooms.
I've done a couple. I was thinking about it the other day. It has been over 10 years of escape rooms for me, which is crazy. I do not normally latch on to a hobby like that. But yeah, I guess, since pandemic times, I've slowed way down, but it's the only reason I go places anymore is to go check out the escape rooms in an area. So love them.
Started to hit that feeling, I think. That's the first priority of trying to think about a holiday.
Right.
But that means you clearly got in pretty much at the ground level.
Yeah, really early. I guess in 2014, there were only so many escape rooms to do in the country. And so at a point, we thought we were approaching 100% completionist of the United States escape room scene. But then things started taking off. A double-edged sword.
Not many hobbies ever get close to that moment. Imagine thinking that you have played all of the video games or read all
Right?
of the books.
That's crazy. Yes.
And then, Elan, what is your, obviously you said you've played rooms with Amanda, but what is your general escape room experience?
You know, it's funny. Normally I'll tell people the number and they'll be very impressed, but following Amanda, there's just no hope. So I've done about 250 escape rooms, which
Nice.
you can act impressed, but we
Oh
all
my
know
God,
that that's
250?
yeah,
I've
exactly.
never heard of that many.
I really appreciate that. I really do. But let's just call this what it is. I brought a ringer with me. We'll see how we go.
I love asking this question still. I'm sorry for people at home if it ever gets repetitive, but it's really interesting to see how different people respond to it and how they feel about their own number. Because so many times, and you see it when you go to a physical escape room and you fill out the form that says your experience level, and it will always be never done one or two, and the highest will be 10 plus.
Yeah, exactly.
And some people say, well, I've done 5 rooms, so I'm something of an expert. And
And
hell,
maybe
they may
are.
have taken right to it. It
They've
could be
done
true.
5 phenomenal
Oh my
rooms.
gosh. We've taken to not trying to share our number ahead of time. That way when we are in the room failing at something very obvious, there's not that weird pressure. So a friend of mine has started telling game masters, "Oh yeah, I think between the two of us we've done over 25 rooms?" And they'll be like, "Oh, very impressive." And then we go into the room and we may or may not have a follow-up conversation after, but sell it low, achieve it high. It's important.
Well, the other element of this show is there's escape rooms presented in this sort of tabletop role-playing style. So maybe in reverse order, Elan, what is your tabletop role-playing experience?
All right, I'm going to admit something that I've never admitted to anyone in public before. Despite the fact that I have been designing games for 3 decades now and have made some of the most successful games in history, I have never played an RPG. I have never played Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh.
I've never played Magic. I basically picked a lane and stayed in that lane for 3 decades now, and I have not veered out even a little bit.
That is interesting that it just hasn't come up in any sort of You never experimented in college. God.
Not even a phase? Wow.
Nothing I'm willing to admit to here.
Wonderful. And then Amanda, what about you? Have you a TTRPG player?
I'm not deep in that world. I have done a bit of groping around in the dark. Maybe we shouldn't continue that analogy, but
Another phase in college.
I have tried things like a bit of Gloomhaven, a bit of Stuffed Fables, like the Nerf versions, but never anything official.
Oh, lovely. Well, in the end, this will be something official. You don't need rules. You don't need anything else like that. You just need to have fun. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. This is just a TTRPG
so
version of an
doable.
escape room.
Lovely.
It's gonna be exactly the same as a real escape room, except
Well,
not quite.
I'd like to think that some of the things in this room you're unlikely to find in a real escape room.
Let's
But
hope.
that's okay.
Amazing. All right,
I think
bring
that
it.
means you're doing it right. Yes.
Well, I think with all of that said, are we happy to? Are you ready to jump into this room?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yes.
Then let's key up the fantastic Foley work of the two of you merging into one
Oh, yes,
person.
into one, your Elander.
This feels right.
I like it.
It worked out very well there.
I like it. This is nice. Yeah.
All right, Danny, would you like to take us away?
Let's do this. You wonder how much of Kat's house you'll remember. It's been years since you last dog sat for her. She was always a little bit of a weirdo, but in a harmless way, and the money was good and the dogs adorable. It's been long enough that the dogs you'll see today will be a different group, but you love all breeds, all dogs, you can't imagine there'll be any problems. After all, this isn't an extended stay, you're just ducking into the backyard and putting food in their bowls. What problems could there be? You park your car on the street outside and, hey, apart from a new coat of paint and a little tree now being a huge tree, nothing's changed. That means you have no trouble at all getting the side gate unlatched and making your way into the backyard, where you're greeted by 3 bounding, enthusiastic dogs. It takes you a second to identify the breed. It's one you've seen before, but you're not overly familiar with. You think they're, What sort of dog do you think they are?
Bull Mastiff.
Oh boy. Okay.
Wow. Jumping right in. Here we go.
Yes.
They're big old bull mastiffs. Look, it's not super important. You suppose you can work with anything. You put your belongings down on the ground and you go and play with the dogs for a little bit, just to get some energy out of them. The backyard itself also isn't exactly as you remember it, so when you're taking a breather, and you need one with bull mastiffs, you take in what you can see. The upper 2/3 are grass, whereas the bottom third is a wooden deck that leads to the sliding back doors of the house. On the deck, there is a barbecue and a mini fridge off to the left. Our left, your left, stage left, doesn't really matter. And 3 small-ish dog houses and 3 food bowls off to the right.
That tracks.
One thing to clarify, those food bowls are not like in the dog houses or assigned to a dog house. They are separate from the dog houses.
Oh, okay.
That feels important. Okay.
On the grass, there is 1 large water bowl off to the right, a jacuzzi in the middle, and a large tree to the left. The yard is also smattered with old holes and dirt mounds. Clearly, at least one of these dogs has a digging problem. There are 2 notes pinned to the base of the tree. Instructions for you, perhaps? Cat was a bit vague on the phone, so you take a look at one of them.
For people at home, you can see that in the show notes, but Elan will read you this lovely note.
I will. Okay, this lovely note says, "If you are truly still, my friend, I'm sorry. I hope you're as smart as I remember you being. You see, they're after me, watching me, spying, following my every move. So I've added a few extra locks around the place. Sorry again."
Ah.
Oh.
Yes, okay. Time has made Cat even stranger. Maybe you'd better feed these dogs as quickly as possible and then go. Wait. Where's your car key? You swear you put it down with your wallet and your phone. It's not in your
no.
pocket. Did one of the dogs take your key while you were playing with them? Okay, great. Just great. So now you have to figure out how to get these dogs fed and figure out where your key is. You're starting to feel like you don't want to be stuck here. And with that, you're free to go. Well, go.
Hey, Amanda.
I don't like where this is headed. Yeah. Question before we dig in there. I thought that it said there were 2 notes at the bottom of the tree.
Oh, you know
I
what?
heard that too.
You're right. Silly me. Besides the note you've already seen, there is a second one attached to the base of this hefty tree.
I thought for sure that was going to be your search fail.
Yeah,
That was going to be our first search fail.
Yeah. Let's move on, Elan.
Well,
What
yes,
else do you want to look at?
I mean, again, for people at home, you can read this second note, but Amanda will read it to you.
Absolutely. So this note appears to be about the feeding amounts. It says that Budge gets a ×2 with 1 asterisk. Flicks gets a ×4 with 2 asterisks. And Zoop gets ×3 with 3 asterisks. There's also a note for each of those asterisks that says 1, Budge likes burying. So if you call out their favorite treat, he'll bring you his latest bone. Awesome. 2 asterisks is a cheeky thief. Oh, Flicks. Relatable. Okay. And then Zoop for 3 asterisks says eats anything. That's good to know.
Yeah, this could be a problem. That suggests that any of them, in one way or another, could have taken your key.
You are right. There's also some stuff in the background, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, kind of around the edges of the page. And there's a plus sign with a circle in the top right.
Doesn't seem to be much we can do with this yet, but clearly a puzzle here we're gonna probably need to plug some stuff into.
I hope so. That sounds awesome.
There's no puzzles in this room.
Yes. I'm going to wait in the jacuzzi while you search. Report back, please.
Hey, while you're there, would you mind having a look around?
Oh, yeah. Search in that jacuzzi.
You flip the cover off the square jacuzzi and find it full and warm and smelling faintly of spa cleaner. There are jets, of course, and also a few other things built into the walls under the water. Lights, maybe? Yeah, look, there's a round dial in the top right corner that suggests you can program in a bunch of colored laser light shows. That's pretty cool, you guess? There's one light built into each of the jacuzzi's corners and one in the center of each wall.
Fascinating. Are we able to test those out to get which one's which corner?
You definitely can. You experiment a bit with these lights, and what you actually find is the dial doesn't just turn one light on at a time or anything. It's got a whole bunch of pre-programmed patterns, so you can
Ooh.
choose between a whole dazzling display of shapes and colors. For example, you turn the dial a few spaces, and 5 of the lights shine out yellow beams to create a pentagram in the water. You turn the
Oh.
dial again, and now 6 of them fire out lines to create a shimmering blue hexagon. That sort of thing.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a regular hot tub.
Nothing to see here. Well, that's fascinating.
How about just also before we move on, anything else about the tree? Walking around it, looking up,
Oh,
looking
yeah.
down, anything?
You know what? Up amongst the branches, you see what looks like the base of a treehouse that's either fallen
Ooh.
apart or was never fully built. And there are some grooves and indents running up one side of the tree trunk that tells you there were once wooden planks fastened to it, making a ladder, but they are long gone.
All right. Let's keep an
Good
eye out for some
idea.
planks. Interesting. Hey, Amanda, what should we look at next?
Oh, I want to turn my ankle over in some of these holes in the yard. Let's explore the digging evidence.
Yeah, sounds right. Evidence of holes littered all over the yard. There's dirt flung up, loose patches of grass, even some divots that are still there that the dog never bothered to fill back in. There could be 100 things buried here. There could be 0 things buried back here. Some of the holes are clearly older than today, but you don't have a good eye for which ones were made recently. And there are some, you think that they go all the way into bushes over by the side, so it's hard to even see all of them.
Noted.
All right. What shall we look at next around here?
Are you feeling hungry? There's a barbecue and mini fridge situation.
Yeah, let's take a look over there. Well, let's see. On the grass, there's one more thing.
Oh, the water bowl?
The water bowl.
That's true. There is one big water bowl for the 3 dogs to share. Really, more of a small, flat pool than a bowl. Reasonably full of clean water, and you don't see anything fancy about its design. Really, the words water bowl will probably cover it.
Okay. It is filled with water?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Yeah. Now let's go look at that. Let's start with the barbecue.
It's a big barbecue on wheels with a large metal cover over the top. And as you walk closer, you think you can smell a bit of that raw food smell. Think you might have found where the dog food is being kept. Not an ideal place for it, you think, but oh well. Cat doesn't seem like she's thinking in ideals right now. But as you get up to it, the cover will not open when you try to pull on it. And you see that there is an electronic lock holding it shut. Wow, that's effort. You press a little button on it and it prompts you for a password with an unknown number of letters.
Ooh.
There is a password hint available.
Let's try that hint.
Nah, you
Why
probably
not?
don't need it.
Oh, well, okay.
Ah.
You press the button for it and, okay, a little cryptic. It says, kitchen, : use death to order. Number them, then use that number.
Just what I expected. Yeah. Okay.
Use death to order. Number them, then use that number.
Well, Elan, you go handle that part.
Yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Can we roll the barbecue around on its wheels?
You can, but it won't go any further than the deck unless you want to risk knocking it over.
Fair enough.
I don't.
How about anything else with the barbecue, Amanda, that we might have missed, or should we head out to this fridge?
I'm fridge time. Let's do
All right,
that.
let's look at the refrigerator, please.
This fridge, it's small, bare on the outside except for, standard wear and tear. You open the door just in case there's some more dog food inside it, but just some old cans and one very questionable looking something wrapped in tinfoil.
Ooh, Elan, taste it.
You know we're the same person, right? Like, it's
Oh,
not
right.
me tasting
Yeah,
it.
you've been murdered.
Yeah.
Oh, You've just
Yeah,
ruined
well,
it.
we got to at least open it up.
We gotta unwrap it. We have to.
Yeah.
You neatly, gingerly unfold the foil, not ripping it just in case you want to rewrap it immediately. And inside, not dog food, nor anything edible at all. What is this? It's a rod. Got some metal, got some plastic. It extends out. Oh, hang on. It's like a cheap kiddie metal detector. Okay.
Oh, fabulous. I love that it's wrapped in foil, like that a metal wrapping. Exciting. It's less disturbing than I thought it was going to be, so that's cool.
Hey, can we try just like turning it on? Does it work?
Yeah.
It is. You turn it on, you press the button, and you scan over a couple of the things around here. There's a decent amount of metal. You got the barbecue, you've got this foil, and it's... Look, it's not the greatest metal detector in the world. It doesn't seem like the most sensitive thing ever, but it works enough.
Is it fair to say that our keys are made of metal?
That does seem like a fair assumption.
Huh. Oh, just curious about that. Interesting.
Uh,
Hey, Amanda, how do you feel about running this nifty little tool of ours over all those holes in the yard?
I still want to turn my ankles over, so yes. Let's do this.
You haven't quite gotten enough there. You extend that metal detector, you make sure it's switched on, you walk over to the hole-iest part of the backyard. It should be enough to find a key if it's been buried. How deeply could it possibly have gone in that short amount of time? So you walk from hole to hole, you wave the detector around like you're pretty sure you've seen them do on TV. And on one hole, you get a ping.
Beep, 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 beep. That's the ping.
Oh.
You get down and you push aside the loose dirt and your fingers graze something. You pick it up. It's not your key.
I
It's
was
a
holding my breath.
It's a screwdriver. And you get a little image in your head of, oh, a dog would totally mistake that for a bone.
Oh, okay, that is pretty cute.
I don't think we found anything that we can use a screwdriver on yet.
Well, not
Haven't
yet, but
noticed
there.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now
All right.
I'm thinking back to that note. It had the plus sign with the circle in the top right, like
Oh, that
kind
is
of
very
screwy.
clever.
Like a
Like a
depending.
Phillips head. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Well, back at the fridge, there were old cans in the fridge, which I kind of just want to like rake around and make a lot of clattery noise with. Can we do that?
They would be a good test to see if the metal detector is working as well. Beyond that, they don't
Wow.
seem very interesting. They're a few months expired, so they're probably still
Ooh.
good, but they don't seem interesting.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I guess there's the rest of the deck. We still haven't investigated the doghouses and the food bowls.
Yeah. Let's go over there.
Yeah.
Very true. Preference? Bowls or houses?
Let's start with the bowls. They seem smaller and easier.
The three bowls on the deck are not exactly identical. Two of them are pretty close, both plain and navy blue, but one has a faint line of white right around the bottom of it. And the third bowl is still navy, but it's also got a decorative pattern of sparkly diamonds printed on it.
Okay, one blinged out bowl.
You peer inside the bowls, and while none of them has food, obviously, since that's your job, there are little bits of something in each. The one with diamonds has some fragments of grass in it. The one with the white line has little flecks of water. And the completely plain one has some broken shards of bones.
Amazing.
Okay.
I'm gonna peek back at our tree note. Eats anything, is a cheeky thief, or likes burying. I guess we don't really know how that relates.
Well, hold on. Maybe we can get lucky here. So, Buddy, or Budge.
Yeah.
Sorry, Budge. Excuse me.
Thank
Budge.
you, Patreon donor Budge.
Yeah, yeah. Likes bearing. If you call out their favorite treats, he'll bring you his latest bone.
Ooh.
If his favorite treats happen to be grass, I think we have a lot of access to grass. Like if the sparkly diamond one, because of those bits of grass in there, maybe that's his favorite treat. Maybe we can go out, call out the word grass, and see if anything happens.
You do that, but no, unfortunately, nothing happens. And you suppose that makes sense. If grass really was his favorite treat, would there be any left in one of the bowls?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so that probably also eliminates water and bones. But what the hell? I think we should call out those those two extra words anyway.
Totally fair. It doesn't work. And now I'm thinking about how sad it would be to have someone say, "What's my favorite food? Water.
Water.
Oh,
Right. And now the
weirdly-
neighbors are concerned because they're hearing us yodeling about
Yeah,
water.
my brain went
and-
somewhere else and definitely went to some version of Captain Planet. So grass, water, bones.
With our
By your powers combined.
Yes. Oh. Oh.
All right. Should we turn over the bowls? What about underneath them?
Nothing new or suspicious underneath them.
All right.
Well, what about the dog houses? Is there any way we can maybe match these up? Tell us about dog houses.
All 3 dog houses are classics. They're painted wooden panels, pointy roofs, big arch opening in the front, with the residing dog's name painted over that. They are definitely homemade. The paintwork is a bit erratic. You can even see underneath where the word Zoop is painted on one of them, there's some remains of another name. It used to say Gem, and you happen to know that was a previous dog of Cat's. So presumably Cat bought Zoop after Gem died, peacefully and happily and surrounded by loved ones.
Absolutely. So you said wooden planks, eh?
I might have.
Wait, hold on. Before you get all detective-y and jump into a brilliant bit of puzzle solving, is there anything else about the houses?
There might be. Do you have anything in particular you'd like to?
Should we poke our head inside?
Yeah, no problem. Do you have a preference for which one? You've got Budge, Flicks, Zoop, as they are labeled. Which house would you
let's
like
start
first?
at the top. Let's start with Budge.
You kneel down and poke your head inside Budge's doghouse. The first thing you notice is that the interior has also clearly been painted not long ago. There's still a bit of that painty smell. Cat mustn't have been paying much attention as she painted because there's a perfectly round circle on the floor that's still the old brown color.
Sorry, what color is it painted now?
It is painted white.
Okay, so we've got that bowl with the white bit along the bottom.
Yeah. Ooh. I like that. Is the circle about the size of a food bowl?
You know what? I think it is. Now, there is also a small, fluffy dog mat inside that it would sleep on. And that is very movable, so you can shift that aside. And underneath that, you notice that Cat has scribbled something here in pen. It's the letters WR and then an arrow pointing them to the letters DS.
WR to DS. Okay.
Anything else we should explore here? Or should we move on to doggy house number 2?
I think you've seen
Let's go
everything
to-
that you can.
We've
Yeah.
seen everything. Yeah, let's move on. All right.
Can we do Zoop next?
You can go to Zoop.
Oh,
You
yes.
crawl out and you move over to the far dog house, the one that used to say Gem. Nothing too strange on the inside here, no bad paint marks. But again, you shift aside the dog bed and you find some letters. This time,
Okay.
SS, arrow, VY.
Excellent.
Okay. Okay. I'm intrigued, but I got nothing yet. Should we
Right.
check out number 3?
I think it's Flicks time.
And
Do it.
Flixes, you find exactly the same thing. Fine paint, no issues there, but under the dog bed, BS, arrow, HY.
Well, that's a whole lot of letters. Okay.
You got us letters. We love letters.
You wanna implement your brilliant plan now?
Well, before we leave, your other brilliant plan, Mutual Appreciation Society time, is the white line around the Navy water bowl or food bowl that had flicks
Yeah.
of water in it. If we put that in the brown circle for Budge, do we get
Yeah.
anything magical?
Nothing magical happens, but it does have a good Cinderella feeling of a perfect fit.
Nice. Okay.
All right. So Budge has WR arrow DS. We know Budge. We know which house is Budge's. We know which bowl is Budge's, and we know that Budge's bowl has a little bit of water in it.
Yes.
Okay.
Something is jumping out to me about these letters, which may or may not matter, but I'm seeing WR as in the first and last letter of water, and BS as in the first and last letter of bones, and S as shard. Well, no, the shards went with bones instead of diamonds, but stones or conspiracy theory time.
No, this is great because DS is there and diamonds is another word that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is there's something here. I don't think we have all the pieces yet, but that is very clever.
well, let's put it in our back pocket and immediately forget about it.
Uh-huh.
For we want planks to make a ladder up that tree, right? And I did notice that there were some planks involved in the dog houses. So is it time to shake down some dog houses?
I mean, we do have a screwdriver.
Yeah. If it all goes wrong, you can rebuild things.
Absolutely.
Look,
Let's destroy some property.
these dog houses, they were made at home. They can certainly be dismantled at home. And the screwdriver fits perfectly into the screws holding the planks of wood that make up the roof of one of the dog houses. The actual walls look like they might need a power drill to get them out, but that's okay. You take off one by one the planks of the doghouse roofs, and that gives you several sturdy planks.
Ooh.
I think I just solved the word puzzle, but it's only because you did such an incredible job. I just want to say, if we just go and start substituting letters, SS in grass to VY makes gravy instead of grass. And WR in water, DS makes dates out of water.
You
and BS
brilliant jerk.
makes honey out of bones. So
It sure does. It
100%
sure does.
that was you, but yeah, there's
no,
there's
we
three
can share
interesting
that
words.
one. Oh, well,
All right, let's continue with the treehouse. We're in a treehouse.
okay.
Let's take
Don't
advantage.
forget about the words, but let's go see if we can rub a plank on a tree and get it to stick.
The wooden planks from the doghouse roofs are a perfect fit for those dents in the tree trunk.
Love this.
With a bit of maneuvering, you can hold them in place. They won't stay there on their own, but there is enough firmness for those same screws that were holding them together to affix them to the tree trunk.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. This is the best. Okay. Awesome. So then, should we scamper up?
You know, before we scamper up, can we just shout out those three words, gravy, dates, and honey, and see what happens?
I would like to do them simultaneously.
As you're climbing the tree. Just in case something really dangerous happens down.
Mantra. Yeah. No. You're right. Let's try it. Let's yell some more weird words. The neighbors, they'll be fine.
You call out, wondering, is this a standard dog treat? But, oh well, if they like it, good for them. And sure enough, you call out, honey dates gravy, and one of the dogs' ears perk up.
Ooh.
Looks like it wants to race towards you, but instead runs off in another direction to some shrubbery by the side of the house. The bushes rustle for a bit, and then he emerges, proudly clinging something in his mouth. He comes up and drops it at your feet. Oh, it's so sad that you have to disappoint him by not actually giving him a treat in return, but you'll pay him back later.
Honey dates gravy. Honey dates gravy.
Good boy, Budge. Good boy.
For now, you look hopefully at what he's dropped, and again, it's not your key. Of course, you wouldn't be that lucky. Actually, what is this thing? Oh, it's yellow-white, and the bumpy shape of it reminds you almost like of a molar tooth. But it can't be. It's okay, because when you hold it right up, you can see a symbol printed on it. It's the familiar line and triangle of an eject symbol. Okay, so whatever it is, whatever it came from, it's definitely man-made, so it's okay.
So wait. So that was the latest thing that Budge has buried. Is
Apparently.
This strange molar eject symbol?
No dates for Budge.
Good boy, Budge. So I guess that means Budge didn't have our key because he would have buried that instead, or
makes sense to me.
Sold it to the highest bidder. We don't know. Okay,
Budge has been cleared of the crime.
This is
Budge
great.
has been cleared, and we know Budge is not a cheeky thief or eats anything. All right, carry on. Let's should we climb some ladders?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Let's go up there.
Scamper time.
Once you're confident in your work here, you climb up. There isn't much to see in the remains of this treehouse. Some of the wood up here is a bit rotten. There is a scrunched up ball of paper that doesn't necessarily look like it's been here for as long as everything else has. You reach for it and then climb back down because you can't be sure how stable this floor is.
Let's not test our luck. Yeah. Okay.
You unravel the paper and you see in big bold letters, "Use fire to teach the innocent."
Oh my.
Wow, that's emphatic.
Use fire to teach. Okay. Well, that's ominous. We've got use death. We've got use fire. This, I don't know if it's as whimsical as it seems, but we're gonna we're gonna press forward. What now, Elan?
We have used the screwdriver. What have we used the screwdriver? Do we need the screwdriver to use for the planks?
Should we rebuild the roof? Are we that kind of nice
It would be
person?
polite.
Yeah. So let's use the screwdriver one more time.
Why not?
One of the dogs is sitting by its doghouse looking at the roof just going,
What
"Oh,
is
no."
this?
It started to rain. It's really tragic.
Yeah, the other dogs is, in the
Oh,
doghouse is the one of
no.
them just sadly sitting in the rain.
No.
No, we can't have that.
It's fine.
Okay, so we'll take.
They're happy enough, but that's the image that goes through your head, and you don't want that to come to pass.
No animals were harmed in the making of this audio escape room. Okay.
All right. Amanda, we
Undo
still
the planks.
have-
Rebuild the roof.
we still have these
Screwdriver
bowls.
done.
Yeah,
We
still have
do.
these bowls. We know one is blinged out. One's got sparkly diamonds on it,
Uh-huh.
and we know one is plain with a few bits of bones in it.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've also got this jacuzzi that does a laser light show for us.
Oh yeah.
Diamonds, laser light, diamonds, maybe. All right, this probably isn't going to do much, but if we bring over the sparkly bowl to the jacuzzi and turn on the lights and maybe try to get some of the lights to reflect through the diamonds, anything there?
The diamonds are really just more of a almost cartoony style pattern. They don't seem like they're going to have any sort of cool function
Fair
to them.
Nice thought though. Okay. Well, we also have our weird yellow white molar eject button.
You look around and you can't see anything that looks like it's missing a button at this stage.
Okay.
All right.
So you want to metal detector some more stuff? Let's just rub that all over the entire scene, like in a real escape room.
Yeah, like
Just
fair enough.
rub it everywhere.
It's very standard stuff, and it seems like the batteries are not doing their best. It's getting weaker and weaker the longer that you go.
All right.
You get occasional pings, but nothing that seems shocking in any way. Like, yeah, the fridge again, the stupid soft drink cans. But eventually, it conks out, and you hope you've gotten what you needed out of it.
We
I
used
hope
the
so,
tool.
too.
The tool has expired. Okay, I get it.
I can take a hint. Yep. Okay. We still have the weird foil it was wrapped in.
We do. We have the foil. We have this barbecue that has that electronic lock.
Kitchen, use death to order, then order those and use the number. I think I'm paraphrasing there.
Yeah, kitchen, use death to order, number them, then use that number.
Well, we also have the first note. If you are truly still my friend, I'm sorry. I hope you're as smart as I remember you being. Like, it doesn't appear to be very puzzly yet, but there could be something hidden in there. And then we also have the numbers in the background of the other tree note.
Okay, wait,
and the
hold on.
feeding amounts.
I do have
What you got?
something. Okay, the numbers that run around the periphery of the note of the feeding amounts note, 1 through 8, match the locations of the lights in the jacuzzi.
Oh.
They were described as one is in each corner and then one on the center of each wall, which is exactly how these numbers are lined up right now.
Keep going.
Okay, well, that's kind of the end. That's all I got.
What?
If
So is that plus maybe the dial?
Yeah. So for example, if we were to go back to the jacuzzi and turn on one of the lights, instead of describing the shape, could you describe it in terms of which numbers are connected?
Theoretically, I could do that, but without having a specific one to be looking at, it might be a bit haphazard.
Oh, got it. Okay. So we need to know where to set this dial, and that's going to tell us something about maybe numbers that have some sort of association with each other. How many locations on the dial are there?
Many.
Got it. Okay. A little more information just to note that we haven't used it.
Yeah.
Budge times 2, flicks times
Right.
4, and zoop times 3. We haven't used those numbers anywhere. So
Correct.
can we just try, just because these are all on the same sheet, if we go to the dial and go to the second setting for budge, what shows up?
You take a look, you take the dial back to off, and then you, I guess, go clockwise 2 spots. It doesn't seem like it's going to be giving you anything super extraordinary or super noteworthy.
Okay. And if we were to try both 3 and 4, still nothing.
About the same. You don't notice anything remarkable about them.
Okay. So that's not where we plug these numbers in. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Can we see anything else? Like there was a fence. We came in through a side gate. Can we, like this thing says kitchen, : and I'm like, can we get to the kitchen? Can we leave the yard? What?
There are a couple of things still that you could observe in my observable items section. The side gate that you came in is not very extraordinary. There doesn't seem to be anything about that. And back out the front of the house, front door definitely locked. Nothing you can do with that. You will not have to go out that side gate again.
Okay. So is the grass or the deck part is up against the house?
It
So is there
isn't
like a
indeed.
back door or a window or something we can see?
There was sliding back doors that lead into the house.
My
Let's take a
favorite.
look.
Sliding glass door. Look, it's lightly tinted, so you can't see inside that well. It does look like the kitchen is pretty close to this entrance.
Ooh.
The door is locked, as you might have suspected, but not just with a normal key lock. This is absurd. Kat, you have gone off the rails here. Who uses an electronic number keypad on their back door?
My girl Cat.
Oh, you're laughing at that. There is a facial recognition camera as well.
Ooh.
Now, you've seen one of these. You had one at an old job that you had. You know that this is a cheap camera. It's easily fooled if you have even one major feature in common with the stored image that it has. Now, you've only talked to Kat on the phone recently. To your memory, your face doesn't look anything like hers, but it's there all the same.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And just for fun, there's still one other thing that I have in my observable items.
Oh, how about the fence
It's our search
running around the periphery of the yard?
Not the fence. That
Looks like a
is not
fence.
very interesting.
Ooh.
That's something that you definitely
we-
know is there. You've definitely interacted already.
Okay.
Haven't chosen to.
Okay.
Look closer.
Okay. Hold on. The dogs. Hey, the dogs.
What? Okay,
Excellent.
let's do it.
The 3 dogs are milling about, happy to have been played with and now awaiting their food. From a distance, there's nothing unusual about them, but each one is wearing a different style of collar.
Ooh.
And get a picture for that.
Yes, for people at home, you can see this image. But Elan, would you like to describe it for people at home?
Would I? Okay.
They totally look like bull mastiffs.
Oh yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
So our 3 bull mastiffs. The top one is clearly wearing a green collar with a triangle hanging from it. The middle dog, and that dog is walking to the left. The middle dog is sitting, facing to the right, with a pink collar with a square hanging from it. And then the final dog is sitting, facing us, facing forward, wearing a white collar with a diamond hanging from it. In case it matters, the tails, the first dog, the tail is pointing up. The middle dog, the tail is sort of curved around to the right. And the bottom dog, the tail is curved downwards.
And also, from what you have experienced so far, you are now very aware that Budge is the one with the pink collar.
Okay.
Okay.
So okay, I have so many thoughts. I really want to use our jacuzzi to create these shapes and these colors and do some like magic with that ×2, ×4, ×3 situation, but that's going to require us to just like randomly guess at the jacuzzi dial, which has not been super fruitful so far.
Now that you know the exact kind of shape you're looking for, you might be able to scroll through and find it.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
All right. Should we start at the top and look for a green triangle?
Yeah, or possibly 3 or 4 green triangle. I don't know. Green. Let's
green.
look for green.
Yeah.
You do a scroll through, and trying to go through individual like dial notches and pay attention to all of them, that's an effort. That takes a while. But when you're just like turning a dial and looking at the pretty lights, it's a lot more engaging. It's a lot easier to handle. There are a bunch of triangles, but only one of them on an entire rotation seems like it uses green.
Yes.
The orientation of it is, well, it's an upside down triangle. So if the control dial is in your top right, the lights used to create this triangle are the top left light, the top right light, and the middle bottom light.
Is that 137?
Yeah, that would be 137.
Okay. This is intriguing.
Yeah.
Let's try to find budges then. Let's scroll again looking for pink square.
You do indeed find one, made from the 4 lights in the middle of each side of the jacuzzi.
I'm not doing it, everybody. I'm not going to say there are 4 lights.
Oh, okay.
We're moving on.
2574 would be pink.
Excellent.
And let's look for white.
Yeah. The white kite.
Yeah, it is a white kite, isn't it? And yep, look, that one can be made with the lights shining from the top middle, top right, middle right, and bottom left.
2356.
That's what I get. 2356.
Okay.
All right.
Bill, you've got your notebook in front of you, so I'm hoping that you're
They are the same
paying
numbers I had in the playtest.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Lovely.
Now, do you think, Amanda, are we doing some math here? So we know that Budge is the pink one and Budge is times 2. So is it 2574 times 2?
I would like that.
Yeah, it is also true that of that square, I wrote it down as 2457. And I think you've written it as 2547. And I suppose either is just as true as the other.
Oh, okay. So the math isn't, yeah. So the math won't come out the same, which means
Okay.
the math does
That
not matter.
can't be it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wait. Sorry. There is one other thing that we haven't used yet, which is Zoop used to be gem. Could that be the diamond bowl?
Gems, yeah. How does that tell us which collar is which, though?
You take a look at the other 2 dogs that you haven't identified yet, just to take a look at them, the green collar one and the white collar one. One of them, the green collar one, is lying pretty comfortably in the middle of the grass, looking satisfied and like they've got everything they want. The other one is deep in play pose, tail going back and forth with a cheeky expression on its face.
Okay.
Ooh, cheeky,
All right.
cheeky.
Can you tell us those colors again? Which of the 2 dog behaviors? Or Amanda, did you catch them?
I did not. I got excited about the word cheeky. So Flix is our cheeky play pose. What color is on our play pose dog?
That was the white-collared dog.
Nice. Okay. So
Okay,
Flix is our white kite collar. And that means that Zoop is green.
All right. So Zoop will eat anything. Okay.
You
All
hope
right,
that
all right,
doesn't include keys, but you have no reason to disbelieve that at this point.
All right.
Get a knife.
Well,
All right. No, sorry, I didn't say that.
have
Here we
the
go.
number pad. No. We have the number pad on the back door, and we have all these numbers.
I guess let's start just by entering some numbers on that number pad, because why not?
It might not require the numbers in an order.
Sure. Let's try 137 just to start somewhere.
That doesn't work.
Let's try 2574.
That also doesn't work. And you know what? It does cut you off after 3, so it looks like they only do want a
Ooh.
3-digit number of some sort.
So let's try just all the variations of 137 then.
The rotating of the order doesn't seem to help.
Okay.
It must
thank
be
I
something
want
more
it to
to
be
it
one
going on.
number from each one, but but we can't say like Budge being times 2. We can't really say what the second number would be. So if the order doesn't matter, the rotation on this map of lights, or like I'm imagining the little round inset lights on the inside of a jacuzzi wall, if they don't matter, what happens if we like cover up 1, 3, and 7 in the jacuzzi?
It doesn't have any effect.
Cool.
Hmm.
What else you
Okay.
got, Elan?
What do we do with these numbers? Hold on. Wait.
Oh,
Let me just try a slightly different approach while you're tinkering
Yes,
with your
please.
shapes.
No, save me.
Any chance, because we're a little bit desperate at the moment, any chance we could bring the dogs over to the face recognition one by one just to see maybe something will hit?
You know owners
what?
look like their pets a lot.
That's a terrible idea. And who's to say? You don't know what photo of herself Kat put in there. Maybe she did
That's
something
right.
weird, like hold a dog up.
Yeah, there we go.
You coax Budge over, you coax Zoop over. Flicks will not come. Flicks, the instant you get close to her, she bolts happily. Oh, she is enjoying herself.
She's playing.
But the 2 dogs that you do manage to get, it doesn't have an effect. But thinking about weird things that she might have done for this photo, not a bad idea.
Okay.
How do we entice Flicks to come play in the camera zone?
Thinking about weird things she would have done, like it is possible that the answer is just bring the dog over somehow.
Yeah, or the back of her head.
Or the back of her head. What else?
Have we tried dancing in front of this facial recognition
Yeah,
camera?
what have you learned about Cat?
Yeah, what have we learned about Cat?
That she's gotten a little strange.
A little
I hope
paranoid.
this isn't her tooth.
A tooth.
Man-made. It's definitely a man-made thing.
Okay.
Sorry.
But you're right, she's been paranoid, strange, thinking people are watching her.
Right? I'm gonna go back to that note.
Do we have sunglasses? Do we have a hat? I
Hmm.
don't think we have any of those things.
No.
on.
Why do you suggest sunglasses, though? Why do you suggest sunglasses and a hat?
I'm thinking maybe she's sort of playing the part of sneaky, incognito. Someone's following her. Someone's watching her. She doesn't want to be watched. She's trying to hide parts of her face.
What if we make ourselves a foil hat?
Or foil sunglasses.
I was thinking, like, conspiracy theory, aliens,
Tinfoil hat?
foil hat,
Conspiracy?
but I like foil glasses. Let's give it something like that a shot.
You know what? You take that foil back out of the fridge and you shape it into a couple of different things. You make yourself a little hat, maybe tear off a little bit to put in front of your eyes as well. You go back to the door and one of the little input receivers flashes a green light at you.
Yay!
Amazing.
Oh my.
All you need now is the number.
Okay. We use the foil. I'm very impressed. Okay.
I'm so happy about that. Oh my gosh.
All we
Yes,
need now
yes.
is the number. So basically, we solved a little bit, and we're still back exactly as stuck as we were before solving that little
sure,
bit.
yeah.
Okay.
But you feel better about yourselves, don't you?
Yeah.
Just a quick break to succeed at a different puzzle.
Yeah.
Gives you the energy you need.
As one does.
All right, I'm looking back over at my notes to just see if is there anything we haven't used. Okay, so back at the tree, we had the tree house, which we feel like is pretty much used. We had the two notes. One of the notes is certainly not used all the way.
Yeah,
yet.
tree note 2
Yeah, it's
feels
kind
still
of-
pretty significant here.
Yeah. So I'm interested in this times 2, times 4, times 3, because that feels like the part of this that we haven't used in any way.
Right.
Yeah, so we've used the notes about each dog
Mm-hmm.
to identify them, and I think we've identified them now, so we know each of their names.
Wait. I might have something. So we got to Zoop's green triangle by turning the dial. But if we were to multiply the dial turn by 3,
Okay.
am I crazy? I could be crazy.
It's interesting looking at the dial. Like, it's hard because they're not numbered, so you can't like explicitly go from notch 2 to notch 6.
Okay.
It
I
really is. It's just like a circular dial with a single little kind of arrow pointing to a notch around it.
Okay.
If we took each number individually and multiplied it by 2 or 4 or 3,
Oh.
because the order doesn't matter.
Then what do we get? Yeah. Budge is our pink square, which was 2574.
Yeah,
And we get a bunch of stuff.
we get a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I'll try the next one. 8, 12, 20. And
Are we getting
24.
words here? Like 137? Would that be
Well, the
A?
problem is we don't know the order.
C?
Nah, yeah,
Well, yeah,
you're
but we could
trying to
unscramble.
find a number. Yeah,
We
what
are
could
trying to find a number.
So-
Yeah,
you're trying to find a number,
Huh.
and somehow the order can't be specifically
the order can't be
important in
specific.
this way.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Can I just ask? This is going to sound like a stupid question. Why are you multiplying them? I know why, but I want to know why.
So we're multiplying them because of the x, which I was starting with implies multiplication.
Absolutely, because on the note it says times 2. You've seen the times symbol there.
Right.
We have a 1 asterisk. I mean, those could just be the notes to the bottom. Budge, flicks, zoop.
Okay. Hold on.
These names are adorable.
All right.
Thank you to all 3 Patreon donors who have become dogs.
Delightful.
Okay. So we have the ability to multiply these numbers individually to get larger numbers, but we're not really feeling very good about that. Like one of the numbers I got was 8122024. And
It's just getting bigger.
just for the hell of it, if we were to enter in all those numbers in exactly that order,
Yeah, it will definitely conk out before you can fit all of them.
Yeah, okay, all right. Oh, it's 3. Oh, we're limited to 3. Right, it conks out at 3. So now we know we're looking for a 3-digit something. Okay, so the 3 numbers we have to work with on the sheet are 2, 4, and 3. It is a shame that it's not 1, 2, and 3 because that would imply an order, but we don't have that. So instead, if we were to interpret that x not as multiply, but as maybe something is missing. So it's whatever number Budge symbolizes, and then a missing number, and then the number 2. Is this another search fail? Is there something we need to look for?
You know what? Weirdly, it kind of almost is. Not
almost
quite.
is.
Why
Yeah.
don't you, like you're working off this note, this tree note, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Let's take a step back to basics. What does this note look like? Can you describe it to me? Re-describe it to the audience at home.
It's a rectangle. The note is a rectangle. There is that plus with the circle in the corner. We have not explored that.
I thought that was the location of the dial.
It's the location of the dial, but you notice the dial's not plus shaped.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
we add all these numbers together, the order would not matter. Question mark.
That's true.
137 becomes 11 then.
Okay.
Yeah. 2574 becomes 18. 2356 becomes 16.
Now you can multiply them. Now you can say Budge, who is pink, so 18 times 2.
36.
And then we have Zoop, who is green, which is times 3. So it's 137 times 3. Or excuse me, 11 times 3.
33. Yeah.
Okay. And then we have our remaining one, white, which is times 4. So 16 times 4.
That gives
64.
us 64. So I was excited because you can then add the numbers together, 36 to get 9, 33 to get 6, but 64 breaks it.
Well, if you just add 33 plus 36 plus 64, what do you get? If we're just adding them, being really simple about this.
It is very
Wait
nice
a
that when it's just
minute.
plussing and timesing, there is some flexibility.
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
Convenience.
We
So
ain't got no
that's,
time for PIMDUS.
9, 133. Why don't we try 133?
I would love to try 133.
Agonizing over how close you got by just typing in 137 at the start. If you just finger fumbled a little bit, the receiver flashes green at you. Both the code and the facial scan have now accepted you.
Sweet relief.
Oh.
Well done, Elan.
And we escaped and go home, right?
That's the plan. Now, you live here now. You squat.
Right? Squatter's rights. So now can we go in the sliding glass door?
You can open it and head inside
my
the house.
gosh.
You realize you're still wearing the tinfoil hat. You take that off.
And now the
course.
intro is
No,
done, and you're
wait,
into the
put it
real
back.
escape
Yeah,
room.
you're into the escape room now.
Back. Yeah.
That was the
intro
tutorial.
has been completed. Congratulations.
Now, look,
That was the cold open.
you resolve both for convenience and for politeness. You're not just going to ransack this entire house. Like, going through Kat's bedroom might feed into her belief that people are spying on her just a bit too much. So instead, you stick to the room closest to the back door, the only one that you've had referenced, the kitchen. Everything in here is mostly normal and seemingly unhelpful. Although, you do notice a couple of post-its around the room. Some odd post-its. And here is your final image.
Yes, this is the last image. People at home, you can see this in the show notes. Amanda, would you like to read out or describe these post-its for the audience at home?
Yeah, I'm going to do my best here. There are 4 Post-its. They're just like your yellow standard Post-it sticky note. One says, "In God's holy name, they will not take me," with 2 exclamation points. The next one says, "i.e., the first step is to get ready." The third one says, "Then my friends can't be trusted, ... And the final one, "Use weapons, ? No idea, exclamation point." So, fascinating. We don't need to know where these Post-its came from, just that they say these things.
Exactly, yeah, arbitrarily. One on the fridge, oven, cupboard, kettle, but not important.
And just to check, nothing on the back.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Amanda, can you apply use death to order to this? Because here we are in the kitchen. So
You're in the kitchen.
We are in the kitchen.
Use death to order, number them, then use that number.
I mean, the first step is to get ready.
Uh-huh.
Although that starting with IE is a little odd to me.
Use death.
Use death
Okay.
to order.
Use death to
Order.
order. Okay. We're trying to perhaps find the order of these sticky notes, these Post-it notes. What order should we put them in? Use death to order. Use weapons.
Is that before or after we use fire to teach the innocent?
She's trying to use whatever she can.
We actually have 3 use statements, right? We have use fire to teach the innocent, use death to order, and now we have use weapons, no idea.
Ooh. Oh, that's an interesting point.
Is there anything else in the kitchen? Anything else we should be looking at?
I don't believe there is anything else of note. In fact, I dare say you might have looked at everything that you will ever need for this room.
Wow.
So if I were
Hooray.
you, I'd use death to order.
Okay, let's
Just use death to order, Elan. Why are you being
death
so
to order.
hesitant here?
All right. Okay. So just to go through this, the word death does not come up. Should
I
we?
don't see it.
We can use the letters in the word death. Do they show up in any normal, interesting, noteworthy way? If we if we try to read this vertically, IN.
Yeah, I've been looking at first letters.
Okay.
Is it because there's the word? Is there a word that starts with D anywhere?
Okay, that's a great idea. All right.
I don't see a word that starts with D,
not a
so I don't know
one.
how great it is. But
Not a one.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Use death. Can we anagram the word death? Does that show up anywhere else?
Looking at this IETHE, like if you just fill in that I to become a D and add an A in between, like I'm so far off the rails. Like I need an intervention.
Okay. All right.
Then
Hold on.
my friends can't be trusted. Death.
Okay. Death.
Is there
Where
anything
is
that rhymes
death?
with
Where
death?
is death?
Where's death when you need it? You know?
Last letters of things. How else can we use? Okay, hold on. How many words are on each note?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the first one. 8,
6 and 4.
4.
Not really helpful. I'm going back and looking at first letters. Now I'm looking at second letters, third letters.
Oh boy. For me, I'm looking at the punctuation, like the ending. Is that the death? Is that the
All the ending punctuation is different. I like that.
There's double exclamation, there's IE, and then a period after ready. There's the ellipsis? Yeah, that one. And the question mark and the exclamation point. Like if we look at idea, exclamation point becomes a TH. Like how can we insert death?
Oh, because idea ends with DEA, so T and H would make it into death.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of grasping. And then trusted ends in ... which is EATH. Could finish that D and make it death. I just don't know if that follows all the way through for everything. What would it be in the first one?
Wait a sec. I see.
You got something?
So I see. So if you take DEA at the end of idea and put that post-it note in front of then my friends, now suddenly DEA has a TH that comes after it.
Elan.
Use weapons, no ID, death, and my friends can't be trusted. That's something.
Something.
Yeah.
Okay, so now D in trusted. Can we attach that to anything? I don't see it anywhere else. I don't see it anywhere else. Use weapons, no idea, then my friends can't be trusted in God's holy name. They will not take me. I.e., the first step is to get ready, use weapon. Okay.
Or is IE like we just skip to the somehow over that ... Is IE a throwaway as an example? We can't be throwing away words. That's crazy. Okay.
All right. Let's go back. Hold on. We're going to put no idea right before then my friends. And suddenly there's the word death right there. And that has helped us order 2 of them.
2 of them. Right.
Okay. Now, the other ones, in order to try to keep following that, would the word trusted come before IE?
Die.
Steady, die. Yeah, no, I like die a lot because that's like death. Okay. And then how do we fit the last one? Okay, so now we've got die. Okay. This is starting to feel good.
We've got die. We love that for us. So
okay, so after ready in God is dying. Right? If you take the DY from ready and then ING,
I was like,
you have dying.
I don't know about this Mia situation, but that you have cracked it. Yes. So that orders it, and then we number them.
That gives us 3 forms of the word death. Okay.
Whew. I'm writing this down.
So for people following it along at home, if you stuck all these messages together, you would have use weapons, no I, death, and my friends can't be trusted. Die! The first step is to get rare. Dying! Odds holy name. They will not take me.
Okay.
Like, it sounds so sane when you say it.
Yeah. It's a very reasonable message to find in someone's kitchen. So you have
the final clue is we've used death to order them. Now we have to number them.
Right. Well, I like it being like death is 5 letters, die is 3 letters, dying is 5 letters.
So this is interesting, right? Because it says we have to use that number, but the only lock that we're still really looking at needs letters.
Sure.
Okay. All right. What were the numbers that you just got by doing that? I'm sorry.
Death for 5 letters, die for 3 letters, and dying for 5 letters. But to your point, like, I mean, what would that be, like ECE? I don't know.
ECE. That's not very helpful. Okay.
I don't love it. So is it maybe something about the letters?
Well, let's just number them 1, 2, 3, and 4. So
sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I have like top across and then to the next row 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, the 4th letter of the first post-it is name.
Ooh.
The 4th word.
Do we like that? Do we?
Yeah.
Okay,
name
the 3rd.
First.
Name first.
My use.
My use.
Use my first name. Cat. Let's put in cat.
Elan. I was working on a thing there. Okay, fine. Let's try Cat. Now, do we know if Cat spells her name with a C or a K?
Thankfully.
We can try both.
Yeah, that's an easy one to double check if you weren't sure. You have it in your phone with a K, so let's work with that first. And thankfully, on the barbecue, it does. KAT opens the barbecue hood.
This is excellent news. We use death to order. It's so good.
You slide it open, and that dog food smell hits you full on. There's a big container of minced meat and grains and vegetables in there. Just in case you thought it was human food, there's a picture of a dog on the lid. So fantastic, you've acquired dog food. Your job is mostly done now.
We did it. Dust our hands off.
You still have one problem. You still don't have your key.
We need to get our hands on... Which dog is the cheeky thief again?
The cheeky thief.
Flicks.
Flicks?
That's Flicks.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to get our hands on Flicks.
Flicks is my favorite.
Maybe we fill Flicks's dog bowl and see if Flicks will come over.
There are few things that are more sure to work than this. Look, Flicks is definitely watching you a little bit more keenly now that you've got this big batch of food in your hands. You approach the dog bowl. You pour a little bit out and her tail wags slowly, thoughtfully. What does she prefer? Food or the thing that she's already got in her mouth? You pour a little bit. You pour some more into the bowl. Oh, and after a long hesitation, hunger wins. She drops the thing in her mouth and she races over to you and she starts wolfing down her meal. You do not give her a chance to reconsider. You go over, you grab the thing that she has dropped. You can already see, yet again, not your key. That's heartbreaking. Instead, what you've picked up is a small strip of tree bark, smooth enough that someone was able to write on it in big, bold letters. Opposite every second word.
Okay,
hold on.
Every...
Use fire to teach the innocent. Use water to... What's the opposite of teach? Something,
Learn.
the guilty. Use water to learn the guilty. Oh, use water to learn the guilty. All right. Or to find the guilty. All right. Use water. Oh, we've got the water bowl.
We do?
Use water to opposite of teach the guilty.
Learn, I think, is good.
Learn. I like learn.
I'll allow it. Okay, to learn the guilt. Do we splash water on the dogs and something happens? What do we
we
do?
could try. That's not going to hurt the dogs. Let's try that to
No,
start.
Oh,
exactly.
They might like
Like,
it. They might like it. Okay.
Some dogs love that. Look, it feels rude, but at the worst, it will disgruntle them. It's not going to bother them. You don't have to feel that guilty. So,
All right, let's do it. Let's see what happens.
you use the food to corral them all a bit closer together, and you bring them a bit closer to the water dish so you don't have to drag it around. And once they're in position, you flip the water at them. You soak them all good and proper. They all jump in shock. Budge sprints away and starts running in little erratic circles. Flick sprints away and starts rolling around on the grass to get the wet off her. And Zoop freezes on the spot. Oh God, did you traumatize her? Oh no, is she okay? You rush forward to check. And a spark bursts from her left ear. And then
Whoa.
a cloud of smoke comes out of her head.
Oh, we have a robot dog in our midst.
She is not frozen in fear. She is shutting down. No. Oh my God, Cat.
What?
Cat was right.
That's crazy. And that's, oh my gosh, because it used to be Jim, but then Zoop infiltrated, spy dog style. It's all coming together.
What does this mean? What does this mean for your suspicions about Zoop eating your key?
Oh.
I'm paralyzed. I'm wondering, is more coming? Are we about to take action? Should we wait? What's happening right now? We do have a screwdriver.
Oh, we have the eject tooth. Is that a remote? What do we do with
Sorry,
this?
wait, hold on. Danny, carry on. What else? Where are we doing right now?
No, look, this is where you are right now. It's a weird place to have ended up. But everything about the exterior of this dog looked like a dog. This is wild stuff. But at this point, if somehow Cat was being spied on by people who have amazing robot dogs, they might know that something has just happened to their robot dog. You don't know who could be on their way right now. it would be great to get out.
Okay, the first thing we have to try is, will this tooth fit in the dog's mouth?
This feels weird. Zoop still feels like a real dog, even with little zaps and buzzes coming out of her.
Oh my.
But you're able to lever down her lower jaw in a way that no real dog would ever let you do. And once you're in, it doesn't look quite like a normal dog mouth, and you do find that one of this thing's back teeth is missing.
Let's plug that in there and see if it ejects,
You
something.
reach in with the tooth that Budge gave you. The buzzing grows louder when you press it into place, more labored, and zoop vibrates on the spot. And then, oh god, what's happening? What's happening to her stomach? Or the mechanical area disguised as a stomach is lowering towards the ground like a little freight elevator. It's all metal except for a squishy layer of fake fur on the underside. And sitting inside it, like curios on a shelf, is a variety of small objects. Papers, credit cards, USBs, and keys. Anything that the dog has hovered up thinking it might be important for its mission.
Oh, wow.
You spot your car key. Oh man. You can do it. You're free to leave. You hurry back, you make sure that, well, you leave enough food for Budge and Flicks at least. What do you do with Zoop? Do you just leave her like this? Cat's gonna come home and have a heart attack. Don't know how you're gonna explain it to her though. At least she'll feel a strong sense of vindication. Well, as for you, well, people always say you've got to do your research before buying a dog to make sure the breeder is ethical, and now you know you also have to do research to make sure the dog is a dog and the breeder isn't actually a CIA operative. Lesson learned.
No wonder. No wonder she eats anything. It's all coming together.
And with that, you have finished the room.
Oh, wow.
Yay!
Thanks for listening to Escape This Podcast. Stay tuned for next week's episode where we discuss the escape room we just did with the guest we just had. This podcast is kept afloat by crowdfunding, so if you enjoy the show, why not support it on Patreon? There's weekly bonus audio for our $5 donors, monthly videos for our $10 donors, monthly trivia for our $20 donors, and anyone at any level can appear as an NPC in one of the rooms that Danny designs. And thanks again for listening.